Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. As you can probably tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be diving into my July wrap-up. I read a total of 10 books in the month of July. One I haven't quite finished yet, but we have 2 days left of July, and I feel like I'm at 80% of the book, so I should finish it. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and rate it because I kind of already know how it's gonna go. As usual, I'm gonna start with my lowest rated books and go all the way up to my highest rated books, so you know my favorite books at the very end of the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. As we go through these books, you are going to sense a very heavy theme, and the theme of this month, I was just in a very set mood of summer rich people thrillers. That was the mood that I was in, and I was not getting out of it. So my Kindle was my best friend this month. We spent a lot of time together. Let's go ahead and start with my 1 star, my only 1 star of the month, and that is On the Surface by Rachel McGuire. Like I told you, I was in a very set mood for summer thrillers, and I really picked this one up on a whim. I had heard nobody talk about it, and I can see why. If you wanted a really in-depth synopsis of this book, I'm so sorry, I am not going to deliver it to you because I have like erased this book from my mind. It was so bad. Basically, you're following these 2 main characters who have a travel vlog together, and the girl ends up missing. And obviously they start questioning the guy, and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't good. It was annoying. I hate to say this because I'm sure Rachel McGuire is a great person, but this felt like a 12-year-old wrote it. It was talking about TikTok. It felt very Gen Alpha, like I would have got this out of a middle school library. No, I did not have any 2 stars, and I did not have any 2.5 stars, so I feel like that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and move into my 3-star category, and the first one in that is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I feel like I'm not alone when I say that I thoroughly really enjoy Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I just think that she does character development like no other, and so when I saw that she was coming out with a new book, I was so excited. This was not at all what I thought it was going to be, because looking it just off the cover, it looks like it's going to be a space story. I didn't get that. I had a lot of issues with this book. The main one being we had like 0 space time. Like there were a couple of chapters that were taking place in space, and then the rest of the time we were just hanging out. And what got me as well is that we knew what was going to happen before the end of the book. Like it was literally panning out the situation that was going on, and it had a weird timeline about it. I just did not really enjoy it that much. I will say that it is a Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Taylor Jenkins Reid does a great job at tugging on your heartstrings as far as like her character development. This main character had a niece, and just the aunt-niece dynamic was so well done, and I loved that part of it. There were many parts that she did so well on, but some parts I feel like she just missed. So unfortunately, this one did fall a little flat for me. Next book I gave 3 stars was The Lifeguards by Amanda Ward. This was also another impulsive pickup. I was just, again, feeling the summer thriller rich people drama. This was a summer thriller with rich people drama. This one is following 3 suburban moms who all have their own secrets and scandals and all sorts of things going on in their lives when their sons come in and say that they found a dead body. And of course, they have a reputation to uphold, so they can't let their sons be brought down for this murder. So they have to figure out what to do next. And that premise really got me. However, I feel like it just dragged. It really did. I was really enjoying it there in the beginning for the most part, but it really, after a while, just dragged for me, and overall, I was kind of let down by the twist in the end. It was a solid read if you're just in the mood for a quick summer thriller, but not one of my favorites. And I feel like this is cheating, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway. I am 80% through this book, but I'm still gonna put it in here, and I'm still gonna rate it. Unless something changes in the next 20%, which I highly doubt it's going to. That is The Stranger in Her House by John Mars. I'm also reading this on my Kindle. I picked this one up on a whim. I'm gonna let you know, this book was a 5-star up until like 60%. When I tell you the premise, it's gonna hook you and you're gonna be like, whoa, I wanna read that. And it really is so exciting and I'm trying to figure it out. But when I tell you this book is so repetitive, like the premise that I'm gonna tell you, that's all that happens. And that's it. Like nothing else is taking place and it's driving me nuts. Like give me something else. It is a fast, fun time. I've almost finished it in 2 days. It's fun. I feel like I need more. So The Stranger in Her House is about a woman that is taking care of her mom who has dementia. And then all of a sudden one day, this handyman named Paul just shows up in their backyard. And her mom is like, yeah, that's Paul. That's our handyman. And Paul and the mom become very friendly with each other, like almost a weird friendly. And the daughter is really weirded out and she's trying to figure out where this guy came from and what does he want. And things just go off the rails from there. And it does. It goes off the rails, okay? And it's really creepy, but I just want more. Do with that what you will. Let's talk about my 3.5 star, and that goes to Den of Liars by Jessica Olsen. This is a debut novel, and I also picked this up on my Kindle. And this is a very convoluted synopsis, so I'm going to try my best to try and explain it to you the best I can, but just stay with me. Den of Liars is following our main character Lola, who is a thief. And she finds herself in a predicament one day where another thief has to rescue her, but by showing her kindness, she has to give him her heart. The thief that rescues her is in a competition with his brother, and so they get involved and there's magical dice and there's a magical tournament, and it is very, very atmospheric, it is very magical, and it is very entertaining. However, I do think that this story is forgettable. This took me probably about 60% of the way through to get really invested into the story and the characters. It took me entirely too long, which was why I gave it such a low rating. I really loved the characters though at the end, and I really like how the end played out. I do think that this is a good read if you're up for that, but overall, not one of my favorites. Okay, now we're really getting into the good stuff, guys. I did not have a solid 4-star this month. Everything was above that. I'm so excited. Okay, so let's talk about this thriller that did work for me. And I loved it. When I was finding good summer thrillers, it was just making my heart so happy because that was the mood that I was in. And when I would find a good one, The Weekend Retreat. And again, this was another one that I picked up on a whim, but I'm here to tell you it's so good. It's so good. This one also has a convoluted synopsis, so just kind of stay with me. This one follows 3 couples, and in those 3 couples are 3 siblings and their spouses. So they go up for a weekend getaway to celebrate 2 of the siblings' birthday. And while they're there, first of all, they're rich, okay? They own a vineyard. They're rich people. They got their scandals, their secrets, and the juicy, juicy stuff. And while they're there, things go off the rails. Off the rails. I loved this book so much. It was a very, very close 5-star. I don't remember exactly why I didn't give it 5 stars. I think it was probably just like a lull every once in a while. I don't love thrillers that lull. I need to be invested at all times. But personally, this was a really, really close 5-star. I loved this one so much. Next 4.5 was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I just got in a mood for this month, and I was really excited because I really wanted to dive back into this series, and I'm so glad that I did because this was 10 times better, in my opinion, than the first book. I loved this one. I don't know if it's because I already knew who the characters were and I was already established in that, and we were just kind of thrown head deep into the situation at hand. And I really, really loved this book, especially the ending, because my head was spinning at the end. I was trying to figure out who, what's going on, but in a good way. And I wish I could relive this ending over and over again. Now we're getting into our 5-star reads, guys. I had 3 of them. 3 of them. That hasn't happened in a few months, actually. Let's talk about this, the ultimate summer thriller that I found this month. The Block Party by Jamie Day. This is actually my first book by Jamie Day, and I loved it. I literally ate this book up. This book is following a bunch of rich people who live in this gated community, and they all have their little secrets and scandals and affairs, and all sorts of things go down, and they're at their annual Memorial Day block party. and someone ends up dead. What sets this book apart for me is that it has multiple points of view, including one of the teenage daughters, which I thought was so unique. I had never read anything like that before. This one, however, guys, I need you to understand something. This one does go off the rails a little bit as far as content. There are some pretty unhinged things that occur in this book, so please proceed with caution. And that goes for any kind of thrillers that I recommend. Like, please know your limits when going into them. I know my limits and you should too. I feel like with any kind of book, you should probably go in knowing certain things to be expected. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. I loved this one so much. My last 2 5 stars that I'm going to talk about are actually novellas. Hannah never gives 5 stars to novellas. First novella that I'm going to talk about is the first novella in The Assassin's Blade, and I read The Assassin's Blade and The Pirate Lord. If you've been watching me for any amount of time, then you already know that I am obsessed with all things pirates. I love stories about pirates, and this one was following Selena as she was fighting the Pirate Lord. Say less. I loved it so much. I had the time of my life with it. It was like 50 pages, 70 pages, and I loved every minute of it. And the last novella, let's talk about it. Believe Me by Tara Mafi. This is the finale in the Shatter Me series. And yes, it took a lot of willpower to go into this book because I did not want to see this end. This was perfect. I did not want anything to change from this book. It was absolutely perfection. And I cried, sobbed, ugly sobbed at the very end. Juliet and Warner are most definitely my favorite characters of all time, and I will not sway from that. I love this series so much. And of course, the last novella was no different. And there you have it, my friends. Those are the 10 books that I read in the month of July. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books as well, if you agree with me or disagree on some of my ratings, and let me know down below what was your favorite book of July. Until next time, my friends, remember this world is a better place with you in it, and I love you so much. Jesus loves you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.